Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of Video Game Collectors on Call. As always, I'm Dr. Gamer Retro, and today my guest is Roop Gaming. Rupert, how's it going, man?
It's going fantastic. How are you?
Good, good. I see you got the Kirby shirt on, the Nintendo
I
pillow
do.
behind you. You're ready to talk about some retro video games, huh?
Well, it is a blanket.
Blanket, I thought it
Uh,
was a pillow. Okay, okay,
no, well, I'm probably gonna get that one next.
okay.
So yeah. But anyway.
Very nice. So I have followed you and seen your page in it, and it mentions that you combine your passion of gaming with poetry. So tell me a little bit about that and how that intertwines the two.
Okay. Well, I've loved video games since I was a kid, for sure. I say about like 7 years ago, I started this YouTube channel. I don't want to say the full name, but Rupert's in
Okay.
it. And anyway, it's essentially it had to do with doing like rap music. I can't sing, obviously. I sound like a deflated Kermit the Frog, but I'm pretty good. I used to do this stuff in high school, like write raps and stuff like that. And
Okay.
then that being said, I did a couple things with rhyming with video games, and I got some good feedback. Some people like would message me saying, "Dude, you got to keep doing this," and I was like, "Yeah, I probably should." And then I just kind of stopped it because there's a lot of work that goes into videos, posting constantly. I just
Mhm.
didn't have any time to do it. So when I started my Instagram page, I just kind of took the name Rupert and went it with gaming, and then I wanted to do uh, some rap. Like there's a lot. I haven't done it in a while because it does take a lot of work. But
Mhm.
I mean, the top three videos on my Instagram account, those are the pinned ones. Those are the rap ones. And then I have a whole bunch from like a year ago. If you want, used to do it every week. If you want to
Mhm.
check those out for sure. So
So
poetry. Yeah.
are these like parodies of real songs? So you take a popular song and make a parody of it, or these are all original?
I've written them. So I take the game, and the game I'll do a rap about that. So there's a lot of like punchlines and things that are like subtle in there, and I just go towards the beat, and the beat is just whatever I kind of like. It used to be the beat for the game. Like there's a
Yeah,
song, like
that'd
a
be cool.
Zelda
Yeah.
song. A lot of people have made like hip hop beats to those music those games. And then, so I would usually do that. Sometimes I do like just a song that I heard on the radio. I was like, oh, I like that beat. But for the most part, yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just a summary of the game, a
Do you ever do
synopsis,
any
if you will.
do you so it sounds like you're pretty in terms of writing and rapping pretty prolific at that. Do you ever do any sort of like freestyle rap or anything?
All right, let me stop you there. The word prolific is it should not be in your vocabulary when it regards to me. It's just something that
Okay.
I've always enjoyed
just
doing.
just a hobby,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, so hobbies kind of came to a halt in college, and then you get older. I started having kids, and I'm like, I'm really doing nothing. So I'm going to work every day. Everything's so scheduled. I need something that I love aside from video games and my family.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm just gonna do this because I love doing it. It doesn't mean it's great. It's just something that I really enjoy doing. Just like the Instagram reels that I do, I try to make them funny. Well,
Yeah.
you might not think they're funny, but they're funny to me. Saying I
Yeah, for
really
sure.
enjoy doing them. So.
Okay. That's what it's all about, just as long as you're enjoying what you're doing and loving and kind of showing off your talents or your collection and whatnot. So tell me about when collecting started for you in terms of gaming. Do you remember a time when you started getting the collecting bug, I guess as people might call it?
Collecting bug, I've kind of always had that.
Mhm.
I've had like I started with my first memory of video games is when I was like five. We had an NES, right? So, and I've just always liked them. And then come high school, I started like chasing girls, and I played some high end sports when I was younger. Obviously nothing professional, but like I was always traveling, and practice was every day. And I'd always keep my eye out for gaming. So when I got older, even like maybe like 2019. I started liking it a lot more. The game room started to come into play. Money was being spent. I was making more money because I'm older. So things would just kind of little by little keep getting added. And then COVID hit. I actually got COVID, and I was banished to the basement for a week because I just had my daughter. So
Okay.
she was upstairs and she was like 3 weeks old. And I actually just started watching videos of like resellers, people going to conventions, all that kind of stuff that really got me into it. And I'm talking like hours of these YouTube videos. And then I just was like, I was keeping my eye out on all the apps, like Craigslist. We have a thing called Kijiji. It's very similar to Craigslist, Facebook
Uh-huh.
Marketplace, and I'm just constantly doing that now.
So I learned about Kijiji in one of my episodes. I'm trying to remember who told me about it. I want to say it was
The repair guy?
Moonshine Game. Oh, maybe it was Video Game Restoration. They're both from Canada, so it was one of them, and I had no idea what it was. But yeah, that definitely makes sense to me. Um, what about what do you collect? Is it a little bit of everything? You know, handheld gaming systems, consoles, PC, or is there things that are kind of out of your interest?
It's honestly, it's just stuff that I like.
Okay.
Um, there's a lot of people that you've had on your show here. Fantastic, by the way. They're very into it and like they know things about different variations and colors of certain things that are from Japan.
Right.
I just like things that are what I like. It's a
Perfect.
superficial type thing. So like Sonics, your Marios, your Pokemon, your Zeldas, of course, Final
Mhm.
Fantasy. A new game, I'm gonna get it. An old game, I'm gonna get it. And just really things. It's something I don't know. It's just the cartoony that stuff about it that reminds me of my childhood, and it just makes me feel really good when I find something. So.
So would you say, like, based on hearing that, it sounds like the answer to this question is yes, but have you played all the games that you own?
Yes, I have. Absolutely. I don't
Yeah.
have that many games. I think I have like 100 games.
Okay.
Oh, I just lied to you. I am very sorry.
That's okay.
There's a bunch of games I've gotten a lot that I from a buddy of mine that I haven't played them all. Like Fallout 3, and I have like 4 copies of Fallout 3 now. There's a
Okay.
bunch of stuff that I haven't played, but for the most part, the stuff that I've had, especially from my childhood, oh, 100% I've played them.
Okay. And we talked beforehand. You're on your phone, so you can be a little mobile. Is there some cool stuff in the game? You're in the game room right now. It looks like, where you do the gaming.
That's
And
true.
yeah, is there some stuff you want to show us, or would you like to continue the tradition of getting up during the show?
Oh, dude, you're singing to me. Of course I do.
Yeah.
So what? Just keep in mind, this is stuff that I think's cool and I thought it's really good. And I will mention that the majority of the stuff in here is not full price. Like everything is either made. I like to make a lot of things,
Okay.
or it's been on discount, or I bought with gift cards, or it was a gift like a Christmas gift. But
Yeah.
very rare. There's very few things that. Um,
So so already I noticed, like, with the blanket that you had, and then behind you there was some stuff. You have a lot of non video game, like video game things that are not an actual video game, if that makes sense. And
yeah.
I think that's really cool.
So well, thank you. The best way to describe it is the video game universe is what
Yeah.
was what I like. Like everything to do with video games, I love it. Like this, I like this one a lot. This is a Ponyta. I don't believe you're too big into Pokemon. Is that correct?
Pokemon's not my thing, but I'm happy to learn about it. So that's what you're here for.
Okay,
So
no judge. I get it. No judgment.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so I got this Ponyta here.
Okay.
So I made that. It's made out of paper.
Wow.
Actually, there's a guy selling these things at the farmers market, selling the kits. And I just said I had to have it. It took me a long time. It took me a couple months to make this just because I don't have much time to do it.
So you bought the
But I also
kit
have,
and then had to put it together?
yeah. So it's
Okay.
it's it's the cardstock. It comes with the glue, the scissor, or the knives,
Wow.
the rulers, whatever you need to do it. It just
Uh-huh.
comes in a kit, and you make it yourself. Instructions, obviously. I have
Okay.
other Pokemon uh, cardstock um, figures here. So these ones, I have a Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander,
Okay.
and those were free, if you can believe it.
Okay.
There's
You
a
put
guy out
those
of
together
France.
as well, or they were already put together?
Yeah, no. So this one, I just got the instructions. So you
Okay.
download it. It was free. It's some guy from France,
Oh,
DP Workshops, shout out.
okay.
And I just put it. So I had to buy it. I think each one of those would have cost about 20 something dollars for all the materials,
Okay.
and it's a labor of love. Let's go with that.
And where do you get those again in case someone's watching and wants to look it up?
Just a so I downloaded DT Workshops. He's out of France. He
Okay.
has an Instagram page. You can follow him. And he
Okay.
just these ones are specifically free. He sells some ones that you can buy. It's not just Pokemon.
Okay.
There's a Pikachu here too.
Okay. Very nice.
So Pikachu, those ones are all free. And then he's got some other ones that you can buy. And I mean, it has to do with like unicorns or whatever that may be. So another good thing, I lucked out with my wife. She is a painter. So a
Okay.
couple things I have on the walls here. I have a Mewtwo
Wow.
that she painted. Yeah,
That's very
and I got
nice.
this. Did you get this
Oh,
too?
that's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Batman and the Jokester.
Okay.
So yeah, I got some good stuff. I have. So this is. I like this right here. These are a whole bunch of consoles. They're all hooked up to the TV.
Okay. Very
So I got
nice.
Wii, Switch, 64, PS5, PlayStation 1, GameCube, 360, SNES, and then
I
here I got a bunch of. I don't know if you can
inbox,
see.
yeah, like
Yeah,
the NES and the Zapper. Yeah.
yeah, and those are the games down there for the most part. And then I got this. I made this myself.
Yeah, I was gonna
The
ask. I saw
guitar.
that in the background, the guitar. So you made the guitar?
So I didn't make the guitar because I
Okay.
can't. I don't. I'm not a good woodworker. But I did put the. I Mod Podged as like a, I think a paste. Anyway, I just put that together with a whole bunch of stuff that I printed off, and it's an art piece for me, and I love it.
What
So
show it one more time. What's on the? Is it
yep,
Mario stuff, Nintendo stuff? I
yeah.
didn't.
So it's
Mario.
Mario
Yeah.
3 themed,
Yeah.
which is my favorite. See, I don't even know what we're looking at here. There we go.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Uh,
Donnie tried when he was on console variations. He couldn't get it to turn, so I don't know if it's possible, but
yeah. So,
very cool.
um, so you did mention handhelds.
I'm not a big fan of handhelds, but I don't know anything about much of them, so
See, I grew up with a Game Boy Color and a
okay.
Game Gear.
Okay.
Game Gear capacitors are kaput on it, and then the Game Boy still works. It's great. So I actually, my next thing that I want to collect is a whole bunch of handhelds. Not necessarily the games to play. I'm sure I'll get a couple for the ones that are really good. But I bought a shelf, so I got a shelf up there
Mhm.
that that's where the handhelds are gonna be displayed. So that's my next big project.
I know a guy for your Game Gear who would fix it for free, and you're also in Canada as well. Video game restoration. He told me Game Gears are kind of the most common thing he fixes. So definitely look him up and reach out if you want to get that Game Gear fixed. So he does it all for free.
I saw that. Oh, for free. How do you do? And the
Just
shipping
just
will
t-
be cheap.
Yeah, you have to ship it obviously, but just talk to him and see. So definitely worth it. Um, you talked about some of the games and stuff. Where do you typically buy them at? Do you go to a specific store in town, or do you have online that you like to purchase?
Like, are we talking collector games or just like new games that come out?
Both.
So the new games, we don't. I think there's one store. I'm outside of Toronto. In my area, there's one store. It's like a half vape shop, half retro game store. And the games are super overpriced. I've been there a couple times. I'm like, I'm not buying any of this stuff. So for the most part, I'm scouring Facebook Marketplace and Kijiji, like I mentioned, and that's usually where I get them. Now, as for the new games when I get new games, it's GameStop.
Okay. And
Easy
how do you,
peasy.
some of the older ones? Is there a way that you personally determine like how you're getting a good deal? Like it's not overpriced. Do you have any sort of guideline for that?
Uh, I use price charting for sure. Um,
Okay. Yeah, that's what
Price
most people
charting,
use.
yeah. And so the last game I got was Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. It's a game
Yep.
I've wanted for a long time. It
Yep.
was I wanted specifically the black label, and I didn't want the bestseller when there's like that gold label on it. I wanted just the old school, as if you were buying it the first day. And so I picked that up. The person asked for $100, and I've been looking at it for years. It used to be like going for like $150, and I was like, I'm not paying for that. Come on. So I'm not paying that much anyway. And so I offered. I'm like, it's 73 on price charting, and then. She's like, well, I can't go that low. I was like, okay, well, 75. She's like, yeah. I was like, okay. So I got it for 75, and
Okay.
I'm a firm believer on whatever something is worth whatever you feel it should be worth.
Yeah.
And normally, if this was just a game that I wanted to resell or something like that, there's no way I would pay that much.
Hmm.
But I wanted the game. I wanted the game for so many years. It was under the budget of what I would normally typically buy for that.
Hmm.
So I just picked it up quickly. Met her at her house, and bada boom, picked it up.
Very nice. Very nice. So I do want to make a comment to people watching. I'm not sure how I got so involved in the Toronto gaming network because you're the third person from that area that I've had on the show, and Chris from Moonshine Gaming was the first, and then Roger Sage is another who his episode hasn't aired yet at the time of this recording, but he's another one that will be on there. Do you know those two guys by chance?
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay. So you have not been to Moonshine Gaming in Toronto. I have heard I don't
I'm
pronounce the T. I'm not supposed to pronounce the
no.
T. Yeah.
I'm outside of Toronto. I don't go to Toronto too much. My wife's from the area, like the
Gotcha.
Greater Toronto area, so I'm there. But
Gotcha.
as for downtown stuff, uh, I mean, I used to go a lot when I was younger. We go to the clubs and stuff like that, but not so much anymore.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So, what would you say out of all of your items, either it could be a game, it could be a console, it could be something else, is your most prized possession that you have for
Prize
gaming
possession,
related things? Yeah.
gaming related.
The one thing,
Prize pos
let's say someone comes in, they said, "I'm going to steal all of your stuff, but you can keep one item." They put a gun to your head. What is the one item?
I gotta go. By no means is my favorite console, but the NES I got back there,
Uh-huh.
that's all original. That's my original one from my parents' house. The box was literally sitting in the
Wow.
closet for 30 years, and that's why it's so crisp. Like it's almost barely damaged. It might as well be sealed.
Yeah.
And I mean that I have so many, I have decades of memories with that thing. So that's probably the one gaming thing that I would keep
Is the
of any.
console in that box right now, or is the console hooked up to the TV?
No, no. So the Super Nintendo and the NES are both just they're in there. They got all the
Okay.
stuff,
Okay.
the foam and everything like that. And that Nintendo Zapper, it's been used twice in the last I don't know 40 years, and it's clean too in box.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a zapper in a box. I mean, I've seen plenty of them out in the open, out in the wild, but to have one in a box is pretty
Hey,
amazing.
welcome to Roof Gaming, baby. I
Yeah,
got it
there we
all.
go. There we go. Um, so, is there something that you're currently looking for? Like you had mentioned the Paper Mario game, that you recently got. Is there another game now that's on your list that's top of the list for the hunt?
So the Paper Mario game, it was kind of a fluke. It just happened to be like I was scouring and it came up. The next one I wanted to get was Split Fiction.
Ah,
My,
good game.
my yeah, my wife. Have you played it?
I beat it. Yep, it's wonderful.
You son of a gun. Oh, myself or my wife and myself, we play couch co-ops, and they're kind of
Mhm.
hard to come by. We loved It Takes Two. We're
Yep.
currently playing Diablo 4.
Okay.
So I made a post on It Takes Two on my Instagram account, and some guy direct messaged me. I forget his name, but anyway, he's like, "Did you know that there's a game called Split Fiction coming out in a couple of weeks?" I was like, "I didn't even hear of this." So
Yeah.
I did some research, and I'm like, "This is totally up our alley." So I'm excited to play that one. Um, so
I
yeah,
didn't know
that
about
would
it
be the
until
next one.
I didn't know about it until I was scrolling through TikTok when I mean I said I don't know if I can say TikTok on YouTube, whatever. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. Anyway, I think like I was like, yeah, timeout, call the police.
Easy.
I was scrolling and I, saw this video and I was like, this game looks pretty sweet and it looks like It Takes Two and it turns out it's like made by the same people. I played it with one of my good friends and we played it nonstop for about 3 or 4 days till we beat it. Have you seen the videos of the level, the secret hidden level with all the lasers and stuff that people have found?
What is it? Spoilers? Like what's going on here?
it's I mean you'll see it if you're scrolling. So I can stop if you don't want me to say any more.
No, no, I'm just joking. No,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I will see it eventually,
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
there's a secret level, okay, and you have to basically get past all these lasers. It's probably the hardest level I've ever seen in my life. And the creator of the game has a video at the end of it. So if you beat it, where he says, "Hey, whoever beats this, the first one to do it, let me know, and I will fly you to I think it's Sweden where they make the games, where you can see our next game, and you can come out here." And actually, two kids in China beat it, and so they messaged him, and he posted on I think Twitter or X or whatever it is now that, "Hey, congratulations, we'll work on getting you guys here to Sweden." And so I thought that was pretty cool. You don't see a lot of cool Easter eggs like that in games anymore, especially with how the internet is. Everybody can just post what there is and the hidden stuff. Back when we were younger, I feel like you really had to search hard for that stuff, or there was like a number. Did you ever call the Nintendo hotline? Did you know about that, where you could call and get a hint?
I got the number on the back of my Game Boy right there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I personally never called it, but I've seen videos about it. So that, definitely a different era. All right, are you ready for the hard-hitting questions? The
No.
controversial topics? This is
Controversial. Do I get to keep my pants on?
uh we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. It's optional.
So the question is, what do you think about graded games?
Graded games.
Yeah.
Um, they're not for me. I don't build my
Hmm.
Just it's not my thing for sure. I
Yeah,
buy games. I buy games so I can play them. I
right.
specifically every game on that shelf, aside from when I pick up like I'll get a lot or something like that. Uh, it's because it's close to me. It's something that I've wanted. It's something that's nostalgic. So I mean, I'm gonna want to play that eventually. And anyway, I'm not gonna buy a graded game. But I don't have an issue if somebody wants to do it. I mean, this
Yeah,
is not mine.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's kind of the consensus a lot of people say. I think it can get out of hand a little bit when you see like a cartridge that's not even in a box or no manual. It's just a straight cartridge that someone has graded. And I'm like, come on, man, why are you? You can just, like, that doesn't make any sense. But like maybe a pristine, Super Mario Brothers, it's the box and sealed and everything. I mean, maybe that makes a little more sense, but sometimes people, I think, go crazy with it. So, um,
Well, the thing that gets me too, and this is same topic, um, is like the Pokemon card situation that's going on right now. I don't know if you're familiar with how insane it is, the market.
mm, mm.
Like, okay, so
Worse than video
people
games?
people, pardon me?
Worse than video games?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's like Costco will come out with this thing, and then scalpers will come and just
Oh,
take
yeah,
them
yeah,
all.
yeah.
Yeah. So there's another thing where there's a lot of people, they're just their YouTube channel is opening up Pokemon cards online. And some of these boxes they're sealed, they're like first editions, and every time they open that up, it's like there's one less on the market. So it's making the market higher and higher. This is my thoughts anyway. And I'm just like, keep that seal. Like these things should be in a museum. So it's not a graded thing. Aside from Pokemon cards itself getting graded, they're like thin cardboard that's been printed. It's worth like a cent,
Right.
less than a cent to produce it, and they're worth like all these thousands of dollars. It's just I don't know, it's mayhem there.
Well,
I
we
I
have
yeah.
the same conversation sometimes on my show, or people when we talk about graded games. How is a piece of cardboard? A game's $50, but oh, you have the cardboard that it came in. Now it's worth $500, and how does that make sense? And I think definitely grading games has maybe inflated the price a lot, and there are definitely people who are resellers who buy things just to sell them, and then or buy things just to grade them and then resell them, and I think it's really inflated the prices. Hopefully, over the next few years, that'll slow down a little bit. Um, do you stream at all, like of yourself playing, like Twitch or anything?
I don't. There's a lot of
Okay.
things on my mind that I want to do. Like I want to start a YouTube channel. Even like you reaching out to me and just saying, "Hey, I do this podcast thing." I was like, "Dude, I would love to just do something like that." Like another thing to
Yeah.
just add to my hobby, meet new
Right.
people. Like I've met a lot of really cool people on
Yeah.
Instagram that I wouldn't say close with, but I don't know. I would consider them relative friends, even though they're across the world. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I would love to just implement that, especially now my kids are getting older.
Yeah.
Um, One's three and one's one. So when they get
Okay.
older,
Okay.
do something else that I can really put in the passion. And this whole thing, like the Instagram and just building the basement, I want to do what's next, what am I going to do, is really just fueling my passion more and more and more. And
Yeah.
I want that to be more my thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I've definitely myself met a lot of people through all the, everyone I meet on these episodes is great, and I think I have someone to meet up and hang out with if I'm ever in certain towns. So actually, the only person the opposite worked, which is kind of funny, is Chris from Moonshine Gaming. I met him first and then decided to put him on the podcast as opposed to reaching out to him and then meeting him after. But
Nice.
what about are you currently playing any game that you're working through right now?
Oh, dude. I've been playing Octopath Traveler 2 for like 6, 7 months. Are you
I
familiar
don't
with the game?
even I don't even know what that is. Yeah, tell me what that is because I'm
Oh,
not.
okay, so it's like Final Fantasy, like old school SNES Final Fantasy. So it's turn based. It's called Octopath because there's 8 people that
Okay.
you go through eight different stories and you travel the world and there's like 4 in your party. You're just battling monsters, random encounters, that sort of thing. It's like SNES yeah, Super Nintendo graphics, and but it's like old school Final Fantasy. I love it. It's like a strategy game. You combine different moves with different characters. Absolutely love it. The issue is these friggin' kids of mine. So I get my gaming aside from when I play with the wife is like I'm waking up Saturday morning at 6. I get to play till 8, and then I'm
Mm,
done for the week. Right.
mm,
So it's a long game. I'm like 75, 80 hours in,
wow.
and and I'm like 3/4 of the way done. So
Is that on
as you know,
Switch?
It's on all consoles. I played on
Oh,
Switch because
okay.
it doesn't need the good graphics. So I played on Switch. And my Switch, I have a docks in different rooms of the house. So if I got to come down here and play it, I can take it upstairs and play it if
Oh,
I want.
very cool.
So
Okay. That's a cool idea.
it's
I
a
never
little
thought
life
about.
hack.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've never thought about having different docks in different areas. I would think, oh, I got to buy another Switch, but you really just need another dock, so you can just put
Yeah,
it there
just
and
fine.
then move it around.
And there, yeah, and there's a bunch of different like third party or aftermarket ones that you can get. So that's cheap. You can get it for like $50, and
Okay.
it's great.
What's the last game you beat from start to finish?
From start to finish, Metroid Dread. I just beat that. So the libraries, it's like this whole interconnecting network. They're all together. Anyway, you can rent games from them, like a library book, and
Hmm.
good games too. So we
Okay.
went there to look for some books with my kids, and they had
Yeah.
this whole thing, all these games, and I was like, I gotta get this game. I looked it up on my phone. I was like, how long does it take to beat? About 15 hours. I was like, perfect. So because obviously if they have Xenoblade there too, I'm not gonna play Xenoblade
What's
for.
your limit? What's your hours like when you're like, eh, too long?
Well, it would have been if it was 20 plus,
Okay.
no dice. But I mean, this game is just like, okay, I can squeeze it in like during nap or squeeze it in just after work before I gotta walk the dog or something like that. Uh,
Remind me, Metroid Dread is on Switch as well, or
at Switch, yeah. So
yeah,
it's a
okay.
Metro game. It's Samus and
Yeah, I played Metroid Prime for GameCube and Echoes for GameCube, and those are the only Metroid games I've ever played. So I
yeah,
imagine
I
it's
got
very
those right
sim.
there.
Yeah, I imagine it's very similar to those.
Actually, it's not. So those ones are say
Yep.
first person shooters.
Third
This one's
person,
like
first
a
person. Yeah.
yeah, first person, and this one is like the old school Metroid, which is like
Oh,
side
okay.
view or
Really
platformer, 2D platformer.
interesting. Okay. All right. What is your favorite console of all time?
Favorite console of all time. I got the retros behind me. I grew up on like when I was older, we had a PS1, which
Hmm.
is sitting in front of me, hooked up to the TV there. I
Okay.
wouldn't say it's my favorites. I definitely get the most hours on it.
Hmm.
I would say GameCube is my favorite just because I just fell in love with um, Zelda Twilight Princess,
Okay.
Star Fox Adventures. A lot of people don't talk about that game. That game was like, I mean, I know you said no swearing, but the bee's knees.
There you
Just
go.
absolutely love those games. So I'd say GameCube. I mean, there's Pikmin, like there's a whole thing. Like my favorite collection on my shelf is the GameCube
GameCube.
ones. It's all just bangers. I don't have any ones that I'm not just collecting to collect. It's the ones that I really like, and I
Right.
have the most there.
And that's the Paper Mario's on GameCube that you got, correct?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. What about your favorite game of all time?
That's simple. Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 1.
Okay.
I mean, I just there was a summer, uh, grade 10. The Eminem show just came out. I was a big
Okay.
Eminem fan, and it would
Okay.
just be me playing 3 4 hours every single day. I didn't work, and just have the the radio or not the radio. What the heck am I talking about? I had the CD going on repeat every single day. I just loved it, and yeah, the game blew my mind. It was the greatest game I've ever played at the time. Now, I mean, it's not the greatest game ever. I mean, I actually like Final Fantasy 9 better as a game, but
Okay.
the most memory for me is Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, RPGs again, not really my thing. But for Final Fantasy VII, are you aware? So I like to collect interesting stuff and like weird, maybe misprints and stuff. Do you know about the misprints for Final Fantasy VII, the cases?
See, once again, the nerdiness, that's not me. So anyway,
Yeah.
yes, I've heard a little bit of it, but hey, go on, carry on.
Yeah, so one basically on the back where it says the word masterpiece, the I is like higher than it needs to be. So that's one
Okay.
misprint. And a lot of people know about that one. A lot of people have that one. There's actually a second misprint where so it's a 3 4 disc game, right? So it's the dual jewel case where it has the double discs and everything. So when you open it up on the inside, there's supposed to be some picture, and then on the other side, there's supposed to be a picture of Sephiroth. However, on the misprint, both pieces have Sephiroth in it, and so that's a second misprint that a lot of people don't know about. So, just a little bit of knowledge there. So,
Now, would those be like super more worth? Like, sorry,
I mean,
super
they're
more
not
worth.
worth
What
a
am I
lot.
talking about?
They're not worth a lot. No, I
Oh,
mean,
well then,
yeah, they're just a cool piece of history, you know. And to me, it's like, yeah, I like it because it's like a cool. It's worth more than the normal game for sure, but it's still just it's not like 500, $700. Like we're not talking loads of money.
Oh, I mean, $700. Who doesn't have that? Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's how much some games cost right now. You know, like I've been wanting to play. I don't know if you're familiar with the game Kuon for PS2, but I mean, goodness, I've been wanting to play that for a long time, but I'm not paying $900 just to play that game. What about your least favorite game you've ever played? This might be
So I
hard.
got two.
Some people have a hard time answering this, but
No, I had a feeling you were going to mention this one. I heard it on a
okay,
couple of your podcasts.
okay,
There's two actually. So
okay.
I got a game. So my least favorite game ever. I got it on PlayStation 1. It was a wasted Christmas gift from my dad got me. It's called Grid Runner. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I have heard of it, but I'm not 100% familiar with it. I do. That sounds
Okay.
familiar.
Okay. Well, I played about 5 levels of it, and that was the end. So essentially, you're in a maze. You're looking. I don't even remember that much, but you're running around a maze trying to collect or press levers or lights or something, and then you got this monster, whatever the theme of the level is. So if it's uh, like a robot theme or there's a robot chasing you or there's a
Yeah,
minotaur coming at you. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm this is in the era I got Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 9, Crash Bandicoot even
Hmm.
that I'm playing PS1, and then I got this game. Like I said, wasted Christmas gift. Now that's the first one. Second one, we rented it twice. Me and my buddy Chris, a long time ago, decades ago. Superman 64.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
that's
I've
that's
never been more
yeah.
upset with a game than Superman 64.
Hmm.
Everybody listening to this, including yourself, I guarantee you know it.
Yeah.
So I don't have to get into it, but just we got past the first level like twice, and that was it. We couldn't do anything after that, and I was like, what a waste of money. Like, ah. Anyway,
Yeah, controls are bad. The graphics are not great. It's
oh,
just
awful.
overall. I don't think I can name one good thing about that game, to be honest with you. So I
Yeah, and there's
personally,
no.
I
Go ahead.
love playing. You know, I guess what you could call bad or terrible games. I just like checking them out, and so especially when people recommend them. So, and then what were you
Well,
going to say
don't play
something
that one.
about? Yeah, yeah. Were you going to say something else about
I was gonna
Superman?
say, and we're in the era at that time we're in the era of very minimal internet, so it's not even like we could have
Uh,
looked it up, and right,
right.
and like nobody knew. Even the cheat websites, we used Cheat CC if you remember that thing.
Oh, 100%.
Um,
cheatcc.com. Yeah, had several bookmarks for that. Yeah,
oh yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So we could even use that barely. So
Wow, Cheat CC. That hopefully other people watching, but that definitely brings back some nostalgia for me going to that website. You would think a
oh
game
yeah.
about Superman would be good because it's a very well liked character, but you know, surprisingly, it
No,
wasn't. What
Trash Bag City.
speaking of characters, do you have a favorite video game character?
So every single game. So okay, here's the thing. I don't know if you're a hockey fan. Clearly, I'm Canadian. I used to play hockey.
Okay,
I was always the number 66 on every team that
okay,
I played on because I loved Mario Lemieux.
okay,
He's my favorite player of all time. Every time I had a game where I needed to input the name of the character, I would always put Cloud. Every
okay,
time. So Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII.
okay.
Um,
Oh, I thought you
every
said
single time it would be Cloud.
clown, like a make you laugh clown. Okay, cloud.
No,
Okay, like the from.
Cloud,
Oh,
like
gotcha.
like the Cumulus.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I got you. Okay, all right. So, if I asked you what your favorite genre of video game is, does that mean you're going to say RPG because you know you mentioned Final Fantasy VII, you mentioned Cloud, so RPGs?
RPGs, for sure. I'm a big Zelda fan. Like Zelda comes out, I'm getting it. That's
Mm-hmm.
my thing. So I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
an adventure game, whatever. That
Okay.
I love. I'm a big fantasy guy. I was a huge Lord of the Rings fan back in the day. Kind of still am. So anything to do with dragons and castles, like I'm just all about that stuff. Magic, yeah. So I'd
Are
say
there
those
any
games.
are there any good Lord of the Rings games? Let me ask you that because I have not played many of them.
So there's one on PS2, Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers.
Okay.
I played that game with my buddy Doug nonstop every time I'd be at his place. So yeah, that's my favorite game.
That's
It's
a good
like
one.
a
Okay.
That's a good one. It's a simple game. It's like a tower defense thing. Like you're on the thing of the castle at
Hmm.
times, and the orcs are coming at you, and then you're just defending it. There's
Okay.
also some other gameplay involved as well, but I know we like it. We like it.
So you mentioned like magic and stuff. So how about the Harry Potter games? There's a new Hogwarts Legacy. I mean, it's not new, but it's relatively new. Have you played that?
Have I?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I did. I was skeptical. I was told going into it that it was super repetitive. It's just a lot of killing spiders and stuff like that. But I'm not a major Harry Potter fan, but I do like the universe of it, and
Hmm.
I was pleasantly surprised by it. Uh, like it's just you're in the Hogwarts school, the university or school, whatever it is,
Right.
and then I don't know. It just I really I enjoyed it. I'm excited for the second one to come out. I mean, it's not the greatest game of all time, but I felt like they made you feel like you were in the movie,
Right.
or like an era of the actual movie. So
Right.
that's what I really liked about it.
So you mentioned second one. Is there? Have they confirmed there's going to be a sequel?
I'm a dreamer, man. That's what
Okay.
it is.
Okay. I didn't know
Uh,
if you had heard something or if you
I think
just.
I do believe I heard that they are gonna have a second one. So yeah,
Oh, very cool. That's one of the games that every once in a while I'll play a game where I get to the end and the boss is just too hard and I give up, or I get to a point and I just say I'm done with it. And that was one of those games. I'm a guy who it's not about the journey for me. It's about the destination in video games. So I will skip all the side quests and just go straight to the end. And that's what I tried to do. And then I found out I'm not strong enough to beat the boss, and I was like, forget this. I'm not going back and doing all this stuff.
yeah.
So advice to you guys: make sure you do your side quests, I guess. So.
Which
What
are
about
very
you?
repetitive. Let's keep that in mind.
That's true. The side quests for sure are repetitive. What about what's your favorite multiplayer game?
Multiplayer. So are you going retro or are we going like online
All time.
all time?
Yeah.
I'd
Do
say
both.
I
Give me both. Give me
played.
both. Give me offline multiplayer and then give me online multiplayer.
Okay, so offline I got to go with Smash Bros.
Which
On the
one?
64.
Okay.
64 for sure. So I say the equivalent of Smash Bros. And Perfect Dark.
Okay.
Just played those with my buddies constantly back in the day, nonstop. We put hundreds of hours into these
So
things.
so Perfect Dark over GoldenEye. You were more of a Perfect Dark guy than GoldenEye.
Oh, 100%. It's the same game, but
Uh-huh.
80,000 times
Better.
better.
Okay.
GoldenEye, I fired that thing up like not too long ago. Not too long ago, like a year ago, and it's
Yeah.
absolute poop. Like
Yeah.
it does not hold up at all.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. It's just the
Yeah.
graphics are not there. The controls. I'm just used to like
Sure.
Call of Duty,
Right.
where it's like kind of aims and stuff for you. But like, yeah, just not a fan. Perfect Dark on the other hand, phenomenal.
And then who's your go-to character on Smash Brothers for Nintendo 64?
Uh, Kirby.
Okay. Oh well, there we go. Obviously, with the shirt, makes sense. And then
Yeah, Kirby.
you're gonna say an online multiplayer game as well, I believe.
Uh, yeah. So I specifically got an Xbox 360 so I could play with my hockey team because they all had Xbox 360s,
Hmm.
and so that's what I asked for. And then I was just like, once that opened up, my first like online playing, it was like, oh my God, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, 3, Black Ops. I just absolutely loved it. I don't play it anymore. One, I don't have time. Two,
Hmm.
I just don't care to. I'd
Yeah.
rather play a single player adventure game than Call of Duty. And I mean the way you play now, it's like you're sitting in a building for 20 minutes and then you're dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
It's
I
like, so what have I done? I could have been writing a book or something.
and I feel like there's people like you said, like me too. I don't have time to sit and play this for hours at a time. But you get on there and there's kids or people who do, and they're so good it's like useless to even try and play. Or you have people who sometimes will cheat and they have aim bots or whatever where they can just auto aim on you, and it's just not even fun. So I played a bit of Call of Duty myself. So
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And by no means am I a great, amazing gamer.
right,
I'm just okay. So yeah, to put me into an arena with people who have played that play 16 hours a day, I'm getting one kill maybe, and then I'm in the gulag. So
yeah. Well, here's an interesting. So I just thought of this question. I don't have it written down or anything. I've never asked it before. So let's see how it goes. Let's say that someone came to you and said, "You can have $1 million if you can beat me in any game of your choosing. Which game are you the goat at?"
oh man, see, I'm not the goat at anything. That's the issue.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Uh,
what are you the best
but
at?
I gotta go of all the games that I have, and this is a tall order. Mario 3. I haven't played in a long time, but it's my favorite NES game, and I used to be so good at that game back in the day,
Mhm.
so I'd probably go with that. And then maybe I'll be like, you know what? I'll take you on Smash Bros. And
Smash
then
Bros.
get my
Yeah.
butt.
So yeah. Well, yeah. So what about like a versus game? So Smash Brothers, I guess, would be the one you choose.
It had to be Smash Bros. But once again, so there's like it's funny story. So we have an arcade. near my house, not near my place, but like near the university that we're at. And I was in there. We were just in between bars, and we just went in there. We're all playing games, and there was the GameCube Smash Bros. And I was like, yeah, I was kicking butt. I thought I was such a big poop. And these two guys came over, university students. They came over, and he's like, "Oh, I'll play you." I was like, "Yeah, perfect." I don't think I hit him once, and that
Wow.
completely put me in my place, and never again will I
Oh
ever
yeah.
think that anymore. But
It's
yeah.
wild. Very nice. Do you have any sort of advice for people who are looking to get into collecting, looking to buy more games, just don't know where to start or what to do?
Um, the only advice I have is the way I do it. My I would say that two things. One, obviously budget. Don't be dumb. If you don't have the money, don't do it.
Oh yeah.
Two, do what you love. Do it what you're passionate about. If you love Mario, take a look at the Mario stuff. Make sure look for deals all the time. If you're into consoles, the exact same thing. But just make sure that you're passionate about it, because then your love for it will grow and grow as your collection grows, which is key. If you just see like, oh, I want that boxed Earthbound. Sorry, my dog's on the thing there.
Oh, you're good.
Okay,
You're
so
good.
I want that box Earthbound. For what reason? Do you want to play it? No, I just think I think it's expensive, and I want to put it
Yeah.
on my shelf. It's like, why are you doing that, right? You want to be
Right.
able to have something you love. Like, there's nothing down here that I don't love, and that's the way I would do it.
That that definitely makes sense. I think it's a lot. I think a lot of times people do that where they say, I want to buy Kuon because it's $900, right? Or I want to buy, like you said, a boxed Earthbound, or what's the Nintendo game that's like really expensive? Why can I not think of it? I'll think of it later. Yeah, I'll think of it later. I can't think of it off the top of my head,
Are you
but
talking?
there,
Are you talking little Samson?
Little Samson, that's the one. Yes, Little Samson. Like, I want to buy Little Samson. Well, do you want to play it? So it's a good game. Don't get me wrong, but is it worth what $1,300 for a loose copy? I don't think so. So
Well,
definitely something
so
to think about.
here's the thing about that. So I don't have we have a few I have a few SNES games for sure. But there's a lot of games. So when I got the SNES Mini, the emulator, like I'm not buying any of the games that are on there. Like those are all games that I've always wanted, and
Hmm.
then now that they're on the emulator, I'm just gonna play that. You know what I mean? So the
Yeah.
collecting to me is like it's for the game. It's not for the trophy.
Is Little Samson on the mini? I don't think so. Is it?
It's not. I'm talking about the
Okay.
SNES. On the
All right.
NES one, I'm not sure,
Okay.
but if it
Gotcha.
was, I wouldn't even look at
But
a
yeah.
hard copy.
But yeah. So as we close up here, remind me again so social media wise. So you have Instagram, YouTube. What are your handles, and can kind of how can people find you on those things?
Okay, so the YouTube, like I said, I haven't touched it in like 7 years. There's a couple
Okay.
video game stuff on there if you want to check it out. It's Rupert Honey. Well, I don't know if you can know that. Anyway, Rupert Honey Tits. You can check that out. There's a couple things there. And then so my Instagram is Rupe Gaming. I post every day, at least one post. I post a reel hopefully every day, and I do like a comedy reel on the Friday. If
Okay.
you want to check that out. And it's just my collection. It's stuff that I like, stuff that I love, and I'm always looking for new people
Yeah.
that I can talk to, discuss, and just see their stuff as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm an open book. I would love to meet new people. So yeah, come
Very
on.
cool. Well, yeah, guys, make sure you follow Rupert on all of his gaming socials. Rupe, thanks for coming on, man. Pleasure to talk to you. Really appreciate it. Everyone, make sure you follow him, follow me, like and subscribe so we can get more viewers and spread the channel. I appreciate all the love and support. And I'll see you next time on Video Game Collectors on Call. Thanks, everybody.